everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Ready to Die Fighting. I'm Chris. Hopefully you can hear me. The Comcast guys or DTE or somebody, they're doing some work on the trees back there and got the noisy trucks. But I'm working on my car right now. The blower, it's really annoying. It only blows, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, like the different levels of speed, how much air is coming out. Only 1 and 2 work. 3 and 4 don't work. At first they all worked. It was like a newish car when I got it, and everything worked great. And then eventually I think 3 stopped working, but 1, 2, and 4 worked. And then, or maybe 3 would work sometimes, but not always. And then 4 stopped working, and like sometimes if I switch back and forth, play with it, it would work sometimes. But now it's just 1 and 2. And on top of that, my air conditioning doesn't always work. And it has been, we've been in the 90s or so, and it is humid. So it's been pretty miserable driving around in this thing. And so I wanted to get this fixed, but I don't have a whole lot of money. And I don't like spending money on things that aren't fun. And like getting your car fixed isn't fun. But I called up O'Reilly's and told them, my blower's not working. I thought it might be a relay, and they said it's actually a blower resistor. This part right here. And I went online and looked up, I watched some YouTube videos, looked at like some schematics and stuff. I'm like, you know what? I can do this one. And so far, I've only required 2 tools. A flashlight, so I can see a little bit better, and a screwdriver. And I'm not going to teach you guys how to do this because I'm not a mechanic, and every car is different. And, it's just not what this channel is about. But I wanted to use this as kind of like an empowerment type of thing. This part cost, I believe it was $45. And I've spent, I've been out here for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and I'm getting close to done. So this is the resistor that has gone bad. And look at this. All these rusty terminals. And, it just doesn't look that great. However, this one, the terminals are actually on the inside there, so they're protected. And I assume that they're good. So, this is a new one. So it's probably good. And so I always like to match up. These look good. Looks similar to me. Everything looks the same. Looks like it'll fit properly. Slight differences. And so I'm going to put this new part in, and hopefully everything works as it should. And if it doesn't, then we'll go from there. So I'm just about done here. I was going to put the new part in and see if it works. And I just wanted to talk about the importance of doing things yourself. I'm not a mechanic. I am familiar with cars. I used to install car audio. I used to do like a bunch of neon lights and radios. I never really learned how to do like remote systems and like alarms and remote starters. That was above my pay grade. But radios, speakers, neon lights, all sorts of stuff like that, it's pretty easy to do. And the big thing that I learned from that is cars are pretty basic, at least the electronic stuff, like taking things apart. It's really not that hard. A lot of the stuff is just snaps, and you can take most of your interior apart with just a screwdriver, and just being careful and paying attention to what you're doing. And fortunately, a lot of the little repairs that you may need to do, that's a lot of times all it takes. Something like this that would cost me who knows how much to have a shop do it. I just took the glove box apart here, and it only took a few minutes. And so I did watch, like I said, a YouTube video, and I looked at some stuff. I was like drawing stuff online because I didn't know where this part was. A lot of times that's the hard part, is figuring out where these parts are. How do you get to it? But once you have that, it really is basic. And so I'm going to put this back, and I just want to encourage you guys. Don't be scared. You know, I mean, it takes a little care, it takes a little courage, it's a little uncomfortable a lot of times, getting under dashes. You gotta get in uncomfortable positions and squeeze your arm in kind of weird ways. Fortunately, I've got these skinny little wrists, and you know, it's not too bad for me. But this stuff is really easy a lot of times. It's just a matter of having the right tools and being brave enough to do it. Something I noticed is what's funny to me is, you know, there's kind of like that joke or the thing that people talk about, kids just knowing how to do stuff with computers and video games or whatever, and older people not knowing how to do it. Well, after spending a good portion of my life working in retail and taking care of various people, both children and elderly, I have noticed that that is true. Kids are better at electronics and just doing things. And it's not because they're smarter. It's not because they're just born with something or whatever. It's because they don't give a shit if they break it. That's the difference. Kids will just do stuff. You know, if you hand your kid your cell phone or computer or whatever, they do not give a damn. They just click on everything, anything, see what it does, pushing buttons, turning knobs, whatever. They do not care if they break it. They don't care if they destroy it. If something goes wrong, Mom, fix it. You know, and that's it. And so because they do that, they just experiment and explore. They get good at it. They get good at it faster than we do. And then older people, you know, myself included, you know, I'm not talking about just like elderly, but just like adults. We're scared. We don't want to break it. It's like, oh man, we don't want to do it wrong. We don't want to look stupid. We don't have directions necessarily. And like, oh, I don't know the steps. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. And we let that sort of thing stop us. We have all these stereotypes that we buy into. I don't know that this is going to be the most attractive angle of me, but, you know, I wanted to talk to you guys, and I kind of want to get this done at the same time. I don't want to be out here all day. It is hot, and I got a bike ride to go to. And so, kids, they'll just do it and not care. And we worry about, you know, all this other stuff. I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to this, I'm going to that. I don't know how. Women don't do this. Black people don't do this. Men can't do that. We have all that stuff. We've got all these hang-ups. And kids don't. So they just pick up the device, pick up the toy, pick up the whatever it is, they dick around with it, they break it, mom or dad fixes it or buys them a new one, maybe yells at them, but they move on. And they learn how to do it. That's how they learn it. That's how they get good at this stuff. That's how you have a 3-year-old who knows how to do all this stuff on their iPhone and you don't. Man, Nate knows how to do all this stuff with these crazy filters and stuff with my phone that I have no idea how he does most of the stuff on there. And I'm pretty good with computers and technology in general. But that's not a case of me being afraid. It's also like I have no interest in that either. So they have different interests. They have different goals. I never had any interest in doing a bunch of stupid filters and stuff like that on my phone. But that's fine. He likes it, and he learned how to do all this cool stuff that I didn't even know my phone could do. And so I was a bit impressed. And he figured that out just by playing with it. So I'm not going to say that you can't break your car, because you can. But with just a few tools and a little bit of courage, you can fix it too. And there's so many things here underneath here. I bought these little harnesses and components and fans and all this type of stuff, and it's pretty accessible. You just have to get the information, and the better you get at it earlier, you know, the easier it is to learn it. Let's see. Oh no, it still doesn't work. still don't have a blower. That is discouraging. Now, the blower resistor was not the issue apparently. Oh! Well, now we got something. So now 4 works, but 3 doesn't. That's still an improvement. That's still an improvement. Whew, feels good. It's not cold air still, so I still need to like recharge my AC. So what this tells me, if I get something on 1, I get something on 2, nothing for 3. Odd. Okay. But we've got progress. That's better. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have to call up REI, tell them what's going on, and maybe they will have a different part for me. Maybe they got another suggestion of what it could be. Or not REI, O'Reilly. And we'll go from there. But the moral of this story, or this video, is get yourself some tools, practice learning how to fix this stuff, because there may come a time where you need to, and perhaps mechanics aren't available. And it doesn't have to be the end of the world. I'm just poor. That's all. I'm just poor. There's no crisis. There's no emergency. Yeah, there's a pandemic. We're at the tail end of it. You know, whatever. I'm just poor. And so I can afford 50 bucks to fix this thing myself. And afternoon dicking around with it. I don't know that I can afford a mechanic. So, time I have more of than money. And you never know. A lot of us are one disaster away from some sort of financial instability. Don't judge. You don't know people's circumstances, and you don't know when you'll be there yourself. Especially in America. We don't have very much of a net. What do you call it? Like a safety net. I can't remember if I did a video on this or not, but this is my emergency vehicle backpack. It's not a bug out bag or anything like that. This is just all the tools that I keep in the car all the time in case the car breaks down on the side of the road, or even if I just need to work on the car. It's really convenient. I just have the tools that I need right here. And so I've got to go back up to the automotive store. I also need to pick up a cabin filter, because look at that. That's filthy. I don't want to bring that in. And that probably, who knows, maybe that made the motor burn out faster. Who knows? But yeah, I got to go from here. Keep doing some figuring out. Ooh, it's hot. Like and subscribe. If you are interested in how I took this apart, maybe I can show that. To me, it's a little bit off topic for the channel, but if you guys are interested in that sort of thing, I can show you how cars generally come apart and some of the basic electronic stuff, changing fuses, changing batteries, changing oil. I mean, I've worked on my car quite a bit. Not just this one, but every car I've had, I've always done as much as I can possibly do myself without going to a mechanic. That's just what I've always done. And so, not by choice, necessarily, but out of necessity. And, you know, you pick stuff up, you learn as you go. And if we ever do get to a point of where things maybe have hit the fan even more so than they already have, it's just another skill to have. I've already got the tools, I've already got some experience, my comfort level is already there. I'm not afraid to take my dash apart. I know that I'm not going to break it. I know it can go back together. So, start doing that. Also, it's a great way to get your car really clean. Like if you want to really clean your car and like detail it, like make it look brand new, easiest way to do that, best way to do it, take it apart. You can get all those little nooks and crannies, scrub it, vacuum it. Easiest to do it, and then you put it back together, it looks like a brand new car. So multiple reasons to learn how to do that. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.